Hey, Don. Hello. Thank you for coming. You are the first one. You're right in here. Welcome, everybody, to my channel. I'm Kathy at Northstar Prepsteader. I am in West Central Minnesota. And yes, it is dark outside. It is very dark. It's been the sunset well over an hour ago already. So, hey, Grammy Karen. Hello. How are you doing? You guys are starting to get some weather down there. I know that. So we kind of dodged the bullet for a lot of the snow, which I really wish we would have a good covering of snow, just because it insulates in the ground. We're freezing pretty good right now, freezing pretty solid down into the ground. But yeah, the storm system, it hit North and South Dakota, and then it kind of skipped around us, and now it's hitting Michigan and Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, heading for Kentucky. I know that. Hey, Alicia. Hello. Welcome. How are you doing? Am I too loud for you guys, or are we okay? So, how is everyone tonight? Alicia, I'm trying to remember where you, I could check my list. I've got so many things stacked up here. Alicia. Oh, Nova Scotia. Yeah, you're cold up there. You're probably about to get some weather, right? Kind of start getting the snow. So, well, thanks. Hey, Bonnie. Hello. Thank you so much. Waves from Florida. Does that mean that there's a storm out there creating a lot of waves or not? Hey, Christy. Hello. How's sunny California for you? So, Bonnie, I think, are you new on the live? I'm trying to remember if I've seen you before. I don't remember. Hey, Josh. Hello. Thank you for coming from Australia. So, what time is it in Australia? It must be Tuesday, right? It's got to be Tuesday out there. Caitlin, hello. Thank you for coming. Hey, Bev. Oh, well, thanks for popping in, just saying hi. I really appreciate that. Oh, Alicia will definitely keep you in prayers. I'm going to start a list of people for prayer here. Prayers. Alicia. Gallbladder surgery. I think this is going to grow very quickly here, but so Bonnie, you have no weather. Oh, that's good. That's good. You and Christy are probably the few areas that aren't getting anything right now. Hey, Nathan. Hello. Another mod here. I really appreciate you guys so much. Ladies and gentlemen, yes. Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Well, Josh, thank you so much for getting on. So that would be 14 hours ahead, I believe, right? Because we're 6 p.m. Monday night, Central Time. Thanks, Karen. I appreciate that. Oh, Nathan, you don't like the snow? I know you guys are really getting it down there. We've had, kind of like light snow off and on for days now, and it's really, there's not much that's accumulated, but it has been cold and the ground has frozen. I don't even know what it is now. It's probably at least 12 to 18 inches. We have a good permafrost going down already, and we are going to need to get a layer of snow on there to keep the septic systems and the wells from freezing. We've had bad winters for that before, but we really need some snow cover. So right now it's 7 degrees above 0 Fahrenheit with the wind chill at minus 11 Fahrenheit. So in those temperatures, that ground freezes really quickly when we don't have any protection there. So Hey, Abiding Acres, another Canadian there. Hello. Oh, Caitlin, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Hey, Mary, thank you for coming. Really, you guys are so great. Really, and Puerto Rican Prepper, hello, good evening. Brett and Cindy, thank you for coming. Oh, Nathan, I think it's it's all in your perspective, right? It's like if it's going to happen anyway, you got to just roll with it and figure out how to live with it, and enjoy it when it's there. And figure out how to get around it, what you can do with it, get out and play in it. It's you can't stop it from coming, and it's going to be there. So. So let me see. Don, were you saying wow to our temperatures? Is that what you were? Yeah, it is cold. Oh, Josh, yep. Yeah, you're getting summer now, so you're getting nice and warm. So Abiding Acres, you currently get 10 centimeters of snow, and it's about -7 Celsius. Okay, yep. So you're a little bit warmer than we are here. The air currents or the jet streams are really kind of strange. They're coming down off the Canadian Rockies, down, and I know I'm going to be backwards for you guys, but kind of coming down over the Dakotas, dipping down to Iowa, going back up over the Great Lakes, and then it's like doing kind of a wave thing going there. But what it's doing is skipping us right now for the snow, but giving us the cold and the wind. So I'd rather have this snow, actually. But hey, Jeff, thank you for coming in from Tampa. A couple Florida people here. Really appreciate it. Yes, Josh, it's nice and warm. You're supposed to get 50-degree temp drop by morning. Oh, wow. In California. Oh, my goodness. Something serious coming off the Pacific then. That is a huge drop, even for here. That's a lot, yeah. When you're not ready for it and not used to it. So, oh, Chris, you're in Alabama? Why did I always think that you were in California? I'm so sorry. Yes, I know other people in Alabama, and yeah, they're like, oh, getting ready for it. Because I don't have you written down here, because I thought that you were, I was so certain. And there we go. Christy from Alabama. See, that's why I need my cheat sheet here. So Jeff says, you must be about 60, no chance of snow. Oh, yeah. Nathan, that is quite a time change, isn't it? They're jumping right into spring there for us. Oh, Caitlin, well, belated happy birthday to you. Thanks so much. Oh, Chris, you used to live in California. Maybe that was my connection. Hey, Jess. Thank you for coming. Yes, it's your first time catching me live. That's so awesome. I assume it's Jess, but maybe it's both of you. So it's Jess. Oh, thank you. And I don't know if I ever got to truly thank you for giving me the shout out a few weeks ago. I really appreciate that so much. But oh yes, in Puerto Rico, yeah, almost 80 degrees. And there's Julie. Julie's from California. She won my seeds last week, so congrats to Julie. Thank you so much. Well, hello, Maya. Yeah, cooking some dinner. That's so great. And what are you making for dinner tonight? It'd be kind of fun. Oh, it is right now. We are 7 degrees above 0 Fahrenheit with a -11 wind chill. And it's supposed to get down to 3 degrees with the winds are going to die down a little bit, so our wind chill will still stay about the same, about 10 to 12 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. Salmon, brown rice, and greens. Oh, that sounds great. Sounds very, very good. Awesome. Well, I just want to say, because it is Veterans Day, I could not have a live without saying thank you to all of those who have served our country in the military. My dad was in the Army in the Korean War. I had an uncle who was in the Navy in World War II, and another uncle that was in the Air Force in World War II. And so we've got a good bit of service in our family. And so I know that there are other people here who have served, and I just want to thank you so much for that. And to just give you a little bit of history, we talk about all of the Veterans Day and everything, but you guys, if you've been watching my lives enough, I like to pull in some facts here and there on this. So Veterans Day honors all of those who have served the country in war or peace. So it's not just being in a war, but in peacetime too. Those who are still living and those who have passed away. It's largely intended to thank them for their sacrifice. It was originally called Armistice Day, and I don't know how many of you knew that, but it commemorated the end of World War I. And it officially ended actually on June 28th, 1919, when the Treaty of Versailles was signed. But the fighting actually ended 7 months before that on November 11th of the 11th hour. So it was the 11th hour and the 11th day of the 11th month. So so it's actually 11 o'clock this morning was the official time. So because of that, that's really largely been considered the end of World War I. And they actually called it the war to end all wars because there had never been anything like that before. And so people really, it was a horrific war. All of our wars are horrific. But so it was dubbed Armistice Day. So in 1926, Congress officially recognized it as the end of the war. But then in 1938, so this is now 20 years later, it became an official holiday, primarily a day set aside to honor veterans of World War I. But then we had World War II and the Korean War and everything. So on June 1st, 1954, at the urging of veteran service organizations, Congress amended the commemoration yet again by changing the word armistice to veterans. So the day would honor American veterans of all wars. So anyway, in Canada and Australia, the celebrated date is on the fourth Monday of October. Oh, wait a minute, sorry. I was skipping here. So in Canada and Australia, they both call November 11th Remembrance Day. Sorry about that, skip that whole October thing. Canada's observance is pretty much similar to us. But their citizens will wear red poppy flowers to honor their war dead. So in Australia, it's more similar to our Memorial Day. And Great Britain also calls it Remembrance Day, but they observe it on the Sunday that's closest to November 11th. And they have parades and services and 2 minutes of silence in London to honor those who lost their lives in the war. So, so not just an American thing, a United States thing, but is worldwide because, it's, especially when we have world wars, it affects everybody. So, all right, I need to catch up with my chats here really quickly. Hey, Adaptive Maritimer, hello. Robin, hi, hello. Let me see, Puerto Rican. You're going to Pennsylvania, okay. Your first cousin died in the Afghanistan war. Oh, I know there's so much tragedy, there really is. I think everybody has been touched somehow with that. Hey, Leanna, thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Hey, Gil from Idaho, Campatton Family Compound. Greetings to everybody. Hey, Jesus is Lord. Thanks for calling. Yep, Remembrance Day in Canada. So, and you have it the same day as today. So, but anyway, greetings to everybody. And thank you. Thank you. So Jess and Maya, if you're still listening, Maya, thank you so much. Nathan, I believe you served too, right? And then I don't remember if the Adaptive Maritimer, if you've served. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since we've talked. But anyway, you're welcome. Okay, no day off for Remembrance Day. Yeah, we had, I think, yeah, the banks are closed, post office closed. We didn't get any mail today, all that kind of stuff. So we have those things that do close up. So, all right, guys. Got a few other things that I want to share with you. Since everybody is on the elderberry kick, and I know, Jess, you just did a thing, but last year I made, other than elderberry syrup, I also made some elderberry tincture for the first time. And yes, I made my own little labels because I'm a graphic designer, so I do that kind of thing. But anyway, for one batch, I think I came up with 4 or 5 bottles of the tincture, and it's only done this far for a whole year. So it's like great. It really works well. But what I've been doing is every glass of water I have, every cup of tea, I put like 6 or 7 drops of this in there. So I am getting it all the time to try to keep my system beefed up in that way. So that's something you guys can do too. Oh, thanks, Leanna. Oh, that's nice, Karen. That's good. Very good. One of the things, last, sometime this summer, I showed you guys something I was doing that actually I got the idea from Stacy at Off-Grid with Doug and Stacy, was to put seed packets. Now, Jess, I don't have nearly as many as you do, but putting them in these binder things, which have been working fine. Now, if I want to store them in the freezer to save my seeds or something, I'm going to have to change things up a bit. But what I've started doing is, for each one of these, making like a little note card on what I thought of each of the vegetables. I haven't done everything yet, but so like as I was pulling them out, harvesting them, eating them, preserving them, that type of thing, I made notes on them. Let me see what I said. Put the date on, or put the name of the vegetable on there, and I put the date, and I indicated whether or not it was a good germinator, kind of the pros and cons of what I liked about it, if I would grow it again, if I wouldn't, even how much they ended up producing. So like in how much space I used, and then how many pounds of something I got. So I would kind of know whether or not I go with this, or again, because almost 9 months can go by and you don't realize what you had thought before. You forget, and stuff happens, and so it's like trying to remember. So anyway, making all those notes, so it would be good. Yes, Jess, the tincture goes a long way, and you really only need like 3 or 4 drops in a glass of water. So I have this glass of water, probably 20 ounces maybe, but I put like 6 or 7 drops in, but it goes so far. And but it does take like 4 weeks or so for it to whatever you call it, that you put the dried berries in, then you add vodka to it, and you let them sit in a dark thing for like 4 weeks or something. So it's got to soak in that way to make it, but it's worth it in the end. So starting now would be a really good time to do that, so that you've got a lot of this cranked up for the middle of winter, which would be great. Oh, putting the actual berries in your mix. Oh, that's a good idea, Leanna. Yeah, I just, in my tea in the morning, I just add the drops to it, and it's been working really well. Oh, that's good. You have having a journal for your things from your garden to see what works, what didn't work. So Oh, Gil, that's you married a drill sergeant. That's awesome. That is awesome. Did you need that? Oh, hey, Max. Hello. Thanks for coming in. You're making soap, cleaning herbs, pumpkin seeds. Oh, you have your hands full. But thanks for listening in. I really appreciate that. Yes, give some flavor other than the sage. If any of you saw my tea live from a few weeks ago, I make a tea of peppermint leaves, mullein leaves, and sage. And because I do have a lot of respiratory issues, so those things are really, really great for respiratory. And then I just add this and sometimes some raw honey to it. And that's my tea every day. And first thing in the morning. I'm not a coffee drinker, so that does help me a lot. So juniper berries. I have not used juniper berries. So Steve, thank you. Thank you, Missy. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's sometimes, just out the window there. The brain just forgets things. So what is everybody dealing with right now? The weather. I know the mid part of the country is really getting some stuff there, but well, you've got a big family and kids, and you're going in a gazillion different directions. And I know a lot of you can really relate to this. Is like there, there's a movie once that just is actually one of the nicer Die Hard movies. It didn't have any language in it or anything, but the guy is like, there's just so much stuff rattling around in my brain up there. It sometimes just leaks out. So I kind of feel like that a lot of the times that my just between my business and work and YouTube and family and homestead and ministry, and it's like my brain, I just can't keep it all there. So, so Gil, you're talking about the Warrior Song Project videos. No, I haven't. I'll have to check that out. That sounds really great. So heavy rain, but quickly freezing. Okay. You guys be really, really careful out there, especially if you're going to be on the road. Because, yeah, the ice is really nasty out there. It can get really bad. So, juniper berries. Oh, that's really good. I have to remember that one. Especially if I find a bunch of junipers out there that have berries on them. Should be able to pick them, right? So you're going to wake up in the upper 40s. You got to sleep in the low 70s. Oh, well, Gil, I'll have to check that out. Thanks so much. I really like seeing things like that, and those music videos like that. It's so great. Oh, Jess, you're going to get your snow again. Well, I hope that you can get out there and enjoy it a little bit. What kind of graphic design do I do? I do all kinds of things. I do pretty much half print type of things, and it can be anywhere from, stationery to labels to billboards to books. I've designed a lot of books, to just really anything, wedding invitations, all kinds of things, anything that you can print. And then the other half of my work is websites. I do design and develop some. I'm not like super techie in the way of, but I know a decent amount of code, but I do more, I'm better at the design and developing part than I am the actual other part of things. So I know some HTML, I know some the CSS, but getting into PHP and some of the other codes, I can kind of recognize some things, but actually getting in writing code like that in those languages, I just can't do. So Yeah, Leanna, we've had flurries off and on here. Nothing that's really accumulated other than maybe a half inch on the road or something like that, and just a light dusting around everywhere. But we're just getting the cold and the wind. So, hey, Christina, thank you for coming. Yes, you tuned in before the last few minutes of my live stream. Thanks. Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, everybody's kind of getting that, the real blast of some wintry feel here. That's definitely for sure. Up to 10 centimeters tonight. And my gardener had a live this afternoon, and he was talking about getting a foot of snow up in Michigan, and they were in the middle of a blizzard. So I'm glad we missed the blizzard, but we still could use anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of snow right now. But Max says quite all right. Turned around and baby's eating a rotten banana with coffee grounds. You gotta feed that baby. Oh my goodness sakes. Oh. So Josh, you're in the part of Australia that doesn't get too much of a winter then, huh? That's quite all right. Listen as much as you need, Max. I appreciate that. So, hey, Thrifty VG. Hello. How are you doing today? And Rainbow 505, happy Veterans Day to everybody too. Yes. Hello, D.F. Hepner. Appreciate you coming. So glad that you're all here. So, all right. Okay. I'd like a sign of hands for anybody who watched Goldshaw Farms video today from Morgan on the shed thing. So did anybody see that? And I'll give you a chance to get in here. So, oh, David, thank you so much. Do I have you on my list? I have to get, oh, I do have you. Okay, near Wyoming. But David, you've got some cold out there too, don't you? So, Don, you saw it? All right. So, Leanna, okay. Does it get too cold there in the winter, but it gets really hot in the summer? What part of Australia are you in? Are you in more the central, towards the coast? Because if you were in the real southern part, I know they get some good winter there. I got to tell you, I ate some kangaroo a few weeks ago. We had a foreign exchange student stay with us when I was a teenager, and she was from Australia, from near Adelaide. And every few years she comes back and visits us. And it's just so fun. So, I mean, it's been 45 years and she keeps coming back around. It's been about 5 years since we've seen her, but she came just last month and spent actually a month in the States, but spent a week with my family. And it was just so fun. But she brought us some kangaroo meat. It was like a sausage. So it's kind of like a summer sausage type of thing. But it was a little darker meat and a little spicier. And granted, it could have been the spices that they put in there. But anyway, I ate kangaroo, so I got to tell you that. So, Josh, is there a lot of issue with kangaroos being harvested illegally and everything? Hello, Eli. Oh, he didn't get notified. Maybe go back and same with a lot of you, go back and check your notifications, because sometimes YouTube will make an update or something and those get knocked off. So, hey, Junebug to Montana. Nathan, that's all it is a big old rodent. Huh? Oh, goodness sakes. So anyway, okay. If you guys didn't see you really need to watch Morgan Shaw's video from this morning on those ads that are out on like Facebook and Instagram for sheds that you can get for like $99 or $129 or whatever. That because it really is a scam. And you know, when you're on a really tight budget and you're looking at it going, oh my goodness, that'd be so great to see, to get it. But anyway, he wanted us to anybody to leave a note or comment on his video to see if there was any other type of scam that you had been sucked into or anything. And I got to tell you guys that, yeah, this is my $99 drone that's supposed to be equivalent to a $1,200 drone, but it is a plastic toy. It's just plastic. And there are no interior parts at all. It's a toy, probably worth about 50 cents, and with some stickers on it and stuff like that. But oh, I do see a wire in there. I don't know. But anyway, it was supposed to be a huge thing. And yeah, I'm quite embarrassed about this, but I got to tell you guys that I'm only telling you this because, yeah, it's and the little controller right here, it's all cheap plastic. These aren't even like real antennas or anything like that. I don't know. And guess what? All of the instructions, well, mostly the sheet of instructions is in Chinese. So makes it really easy to figure it out. They do give you a different one, but that's in English, but it's just a plastic toy. So anyway, I might see if there's anything I can do with it, but yeah, just be really, really careful of that. Oh, I know. Yeah, Grammy Karen, you know what? They will get their judgments someday, and there's no way to track this down, but they will. They just have to trust that the Lord will take care of me on this. But yeah, it's anyway. I was hoping and looking forward to getting at least some localized drone shots here. Nothing, a mile up or anything, of course. But again, it was an ad that was on. Actually, it was on YouTube. It was a YouTube ad, and I'd have to go back and look at my emails. But there was always something a little strange about the emails. It didn't seem to be like a normal professional company like you'd get from Amazon or from PayPal or something like that. So, oh, thanks, Julie. But, it really is easy to get sucked into it. So, Christina, that is a good idea. I probably should. Yeah, to get to the Better Business Bureau. But it just came, I think, on Saturday or something. So I haven't even had a chance to really look through it yet. But, try to do something for the business and some business stuff going, and it's just crazy. So anyway, so I would assume that everybody's kind of all done with their gardens, more or less, because of the weather that's coming through, except those of you in California, of course. But nefarious email. That's a good word, Leanna. Nefarious. Yes. You've got to really watch it. One of the keys on those that, if you get like something that looks kind of shady or questionable from Amazon or PayPal or anything, look at the send from email address. And if it's anything but, support at Amazon.com or something like that, if it's anything but that, if it's a long string of numbers, letters, whatever, it's spam. And actually, these very companies, they do have full departments that take care of that. So if you contact them and let them know that you've got a spam email, they like to actually get those so they can trace them and shut them down. So I've gotten a number of those too. So so we've got a number of people going to Australia to get their brew, huh? So what planting do I do in the winter in preparation for planting in the spring? Well, like I don't know if everybody got to see this or not, but when I was saving my seeds and I started making notes on here, so I'm going to go through and see what worked, see what didn't work. My garden is all put to bed now, completely frozen in and everything. At this point, it's just kind of, I've got to refocus on some other things that I've put aside for the last several months. And so things have to kind of shift in that way. So there are projects inside the house I've got to take care of. But I probably will start just shortly after Christmas thinking about what I want to plant. And, I know what beds I've got going there, and I know what worked this year, so that helped a lot. Probably continue to research more effective ways of planting those things that I do plant. Watch more videos for that. That would be a good idea. Set up a good area. I want a different area for my starts and things like that indoors. This last spring, winter and spring, I just had them in my living room. So that was kind of, it was good for just getting started on that, but I want to create a better space for that. So, so shifting some things around in the house for that kind of thing. Then just doing some more research and thinking a plan going. Last year I started my tomatoes and peppers at the middle of March, and it was way too early because I didn't even get to plant until the first week of June. So I am not going to start things till probably close to, well, maybe the peppers I'll start around the middle of April, but I'm not even going to start my tomatoes till almost the beginning of May. And just because last year it was way too early, and they were like 3.5 feet tall before I could even get them in the garden. And it made for a really, really deep root system. It did at that, but it was just not, it was just the plants were way too big for having inside and letting them go that long. So, yeah. Oh, peppers like 8 to 12 weeks. Okay. Yeah, this last spring was crazy. And even if we have an early spring, which I really doubt that we're going to, it's, I can still wait until the 1st of June to plant them. So if they're not quite ready yet, they'll still do really well. David, yes, I did get tomatoes this year. I still have to add up all my numbers and everything, and I want to do a video on that to show you exactly how much space I had and what I planted and how much my my yield was and everything. But I'm thinking it was around, I'm saying 75 or 80 pounds of tomatoes. So yeah, I didn't do too bad considering it's in about 18 square feet that I got. So I'm not even going to really count what I got in the planters, the separate ones, because I got maybe 1 or 2 tomatoes off of each one of those, and they were just not really not productive at all. So my tomato plants in my raised bed did the best. Um, Eli, yeah. Um, you know, put a lot of them in the freezer and just kind of forget about them, right? Uh, well, Josh, you and Eli need to go to therapy together then, right? Oh, so Rainbow 505, you're going to add 4 more raised beds. Oh, that's cool. Do we have you down here? I don't. I can't believe I've never asked you this. Rainbow 505, what is your name and what state are you from? Because you're here all the time and I really appreciate you. Bye, Robin. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Finish up your tomatoes before you, yeah. Oh, Puerto Rican pepper. I could do that. You talking about the plastic drone? This it? Well, it came from China, so I don't know that I want to spend the money returning it. But David, I planted 3 different varieties, but only 2 really did well. They were just both beefsteaks. I did Delicious and a porterhouse tomato. The big boys were the ones mostly in the pots, and they just didn't do well. I've never planted in containers before, and they just did not do well this year. We get really, through July, it's really hot, long, dry days, and I would water those pots, and within a few hours, they were totally dry again. So it was just not conducive to our weather, and for those particular kind of plants. That's how I planted my squash too, and they didn't do well at all either. So it was an experiment, and you know, I'll just try to figure out what I can do with those. So, so I'm getting behind here a little bit. Yet we all need to go through. Yeah, I guess that's another thing for preparing too, is going through all the seeds, seeing what I have, seeing what maybe could be used again. Hi, my name is Josh, and I'm a seed collecting addict. That's great. That's great. Hey, Hardneck Farms, thank you for coming. You made it. I really appreciate that. Oh, Junebug, I'm glad you had fun gardening. You know, that's really the biggest thing to kind of keep in mind, is just to have fun with it, and not, I mean, it's easy to get into looking at it as just a chore and so much work and a drudgery and everything. But if we can step back and just take some joy in it, I think that's really key in being able to continue gardening and to explore new things. You know, just take a chair and sit out in your garden, wherever it is, and just sit there for a while and just look around and just enjoy this and be grateful for what's growing and what's happening. So, so Christina, you watched some older videos of my soil prep. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my soil prep, I did a lot with that this year, and I think I'm going to have to continue to do some more in the spring yet too, because, you know, it sounds really, really, really weird, but until this year, I really didn't know that I needed to continue putting stuff in my soil. I mean, of course, it makes so much sense, and it's like, duh, you know, it's like soil 101. You take it out, put stuff back in. I knew enough to rotate things around and what plants were depleting it and what can put back in, but all of the other amendments that go into it. And you know, nobody ever told me before, and I was just kind of figuring things out on my own. But you know, this community has been fantastic in being able to share things, and I appreciate so much all of you. Jess, I don't know if you're still on, but you've been huge in helping all of us with our gardening too. And I did your egg thing in the bottom of the the holes that I put in for my tomato plants, and they worked great. They worked great. So don't know if that was for sure what helped them grow so well, but you know what? I kind of like you. I'm gonna do it again, and you know, I would hate to do it a year without it and have them not work. So yes, Eli, take joy in every day. Absolutely. Oh, June, that's great. Junebug, you like to sit in your backyard and play guitar. Absolutely. So exactly, Eli. Yep. So yeah, Leanna, I think you were telling me about that mill, right? The one about 3 hours northwest. You can get a few things from there. Yeah, oats, wheat, beans, everything. So Jess must be eating now. I don't. She hasn't commented yet. So but yes. So she's. Oh, Alicia, she puts in. Okay, you dig your hole as deep as you can, at least 12 inches or so. Let's say your plant is 18 inches tall, your tomato plant. You want to clip off most of the bottom leaves and then dig your hole as deep as you can to only have your tomato plant out of the ground maybe this far. So just one or two, about two sets of leaves on the top. So you can have a really deep root system, because tomato roots will continue to root out all along the stem. And so the deeper you can put it in, the more nutrients that tomato plant is getting, and the stronger the stalk is going to end up being too. Well, when she dug her hole, she would throw in, I think she said there was like an old farmer that taught her this or something. They throw an egg in there and then take a shovel or something and just crack it, and just a raw egg, put it in the bottom of the hole, crack it, and then put the plant in, fill it in with dirt, and everything. Now I also put something in there, kind of like in my gardener's trifecta, but it was a little different. It was a different name of something, but some other dried nutrients in the bottom there too. So try to give as much nutrients to the tomatoes as I could, and they really did well. They did better than I've ever done before. So and there were a number of tricks that I learned throughout the summer that I wish I had applied at the beginning of the summer. So there's some more things to know. So it's great. We all learn from each other, and I think that's so fantastic. Squirrel Dr. Branch on you. Yeah, the little hairs on the tomato plants, their roots. Yep. They draw in all that moisture, so that's great. All the nutrients. So anyway, I want to tell you that McCoy's Oak Hill Farm, Leanna, and I actually got together last week. We met, and so it's really, really fun to be able to be close enough to some of these other YouTubers and be able to connect and continue the community. I think that was really fun. Oh, Grammy Karen, yep, you're going to be on the next live, and your kids. So thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate that. A praying mantis pod. Oh, that's unusual. Yes, Leanna was hay shopping, so I got to learn all about that. It was cool. Okay, Gil, well, thanks for coming. I really appreciate that. Yes, I will be getting off in about 10 minutes because I really like to have you guys go and support these other channels that come on live after me. I think it's just so great. So, well, thank you, Abiding Acres. I really appreciate that. Yes, I love to be able to visit with you guys, and yet, you know, we all take this time out of our busy schedules, so if we can learn from each other, I think that's awesome. And it really, really helps. So I just ask that all of you, oh, Eli, you're derailing me. Oh, you are just too funny. I'm going to turn all red now. You guys be very, very, very careful traveling out in all this weather and everything. you know, a few of us here from the northern states, and we're kind of used to having that kind of weather, you know, for 5, 6 months of the year with snow and ice and everything. And we're we hopefully hopefully are you know, accustomed to driving in that and dealing with it and walking in it and shoveling it and being prepared for that. But you know, it is what it is. We have to learn to live with it and deal with it. And something that I've heard over and over in the last year from other YouTubers is that there's no such thing as bad weather. There's just bad clothing and preparation. So thanks, Alicia. Appreciate it. So, you know, when you go out in that weather, just make sure that you are dressed properly. You've got boots, hat, mitt, scarf, jacket, whatever it is that you need out in that weather, depending on what you're going into and the temperatures. Don't count on the fact that, well, I'm only going 4 miles and I'll be in a warm car and I'll just gonna go right into that other building, so I don't need to have all that stuff, because you never know. I mean, 3 blocks down the road, you may end up in the ditch or whatever. And so, or somebody else can put you in the ditch, whatever happens. But it's always oh, real big snowplow, yes. So thank you, Puerto Rican Pepper. I really appreciate that. Yes, no mosquitoes, David. Exactly. Oh, that's a good point. Yes, abiding acres, switching the summer windshield washer fluid to the winter. Yes, all those kind of things. So being prepared with your clothing, having, even in your car, having a shovel in there, having blanket, having an emergency kit of some sort that you can have in case you get stranded. I mean, it's just being smart out in the weather. If the roads are slick and icy, don't go out. Wait and just reschedule your day and wait until another time to go out. And then, of course, as homesteaders and those of us who prepare for these kind of emergencies, you should always have plenty of food and water and everything else, alternative heat, whatever you need in your home to take care of you during these things. Because a storm like that, it can take down power lines, you know, all that kind of stuff, and leave people without electricity for days, if not a week or two. And I mean, it's happened. So you guys just prepare well. Definitely prepare well. Oh, Eli, well, yeah, you're in California. You don't need a down coat there. Now, when you go to Arizona, you might need that. But okay, Hardneck Farms, yes, 9-degree wind chill. Right now, we're at about 12 below zero wind chill Fahrenheit. So I hear you. Yes, it got a bit cold today. So yeah, and you know, ours are going to be kind of going up and down. We might bump back up close to freezing, but then go back down close to zero again, Fahrenheit. So we're just in that for about a month and a half or so. We're kind of going up and down, and shortly after Christmas, it drops and stays down below zero. So anyway, so I hope you guys are all preparing. Oh, 45-mile winds. Yeah, that's nasty when it's cold. Hardneck, I'm trying to remember where you were from. I know I don't have you written down here, but I think it was somewhere in the middle states, right? Something like that. So anyway, you guys, might let you go here a minute or two early, but oh, Oklahoma. Okay, yes, you can get cold definitely in Oklahoma. I've been there before Christmas. So you guys, thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate you. This next hour, right now I think Lisa at Sutton's Days is on. Her live. There's Stivers in a few minutes. There's a number of others. I don't know if Big Family Homestead is back on. at in the next hour or not. Then Freedom Homestead's on, and Two Family Homestead, and a bunch of others that you might like, might know. So, 80-pound pack. You're too funny. So, God bless everybody. Have a great week, and we will see you next Monday. Bye bye.